The same extract in English reads, When all the Gugu had sat down and the sound of the many tiny bells and rattles on their bodies had subsided, Evo Forest addressed the two groups of people facing them. Uzogulu's body, I salute you, he said. Spirits always addressed humans as bodies. Uzogulu bent down and touched the earth with his right hand as a sign of submission. Our father, my hand has touched the ground, he said. Uzogulu's body, do you know me? Asked the spirit. How can I know you, father? You are beyond our knowledge. Evo Forest then turned to the other group and addressed the eldest of the three brothers. The body of Odukwe, I greet you, he said. And Odukwe bent down and touched the earth. The hearing then began. Uzogulu stepped forward and presented his case. That woman standing there is my wife, Mugibafo. I married her with my money and my yams. I do not owe my in-laws anything. I owe them no yams. I owe them no cocoyams. One morning, 3 of them came to my house, beat me up and took my wife and children away. This happened in the rainy season. I have waited in vain for my wife to return. At last I went to my in-laws and said to them, You have taken back your sister. I did not send her away. You yourselves took her. The law of the clan is that you should return her bride price. But my wife's brother said they had nothing to tell me, so I have brought the matter to the father of the clan. My case is finished. I salute you. Your words are good, said the leader of the Egugu. Let us hear Odukwe. His words may also be good. Odukwe was short and thick-set. He stepped forward, saluted the spirits, and began his story. My in-law has told you that we went to his house, beat him up, and took our sister and our children away. All that is true. He told you that he came to take back her bride price and we refused to give it to him. That also is true. My in-law, Uzogulu, is a beast. My sister lived with him for 9 years. During those years, no single day passed in the sky without his beating the woman. We have tried to settle their quarrels time without number, and on each occasion, Uzogulu was guilty. It is a lie, Uzogulu shouted. 2 years ago, continued Odukwe, when she was pregnant, he beat her until she miscarried. It is a lie. She miscarried after she had gone to sleep with her lover. Uzogulu's body, I salute you, said Evo Forest, silencing him. What kind of lover sleeps with a pregnant woman? There was a loud murmur of approbation from the crowd. Odukwe continued. Last year, when my sister was recovering from an illness, he beat her again so that if the neighbors had not gone in to save her, she would have been killed. We heard of it and did as you have been told. The law of Umovia is that if a woman runs away from her husband, her bride price is returned. But in this case, she ran away to save her life. Her 2 children belong to Uzogulu. We do not dispute it, but they are too young to leave their mother. If, on the other hand, Uzogulu should recover from his madness and come in the proper way to beg his wife to return, she'll do so on the understanding that if ever he beats her again, we shall cut off his genitals for him. The crowd roared with laughter. Evo Forest rose to his feet and order was immediately restored. A steady cloud of smoke rose from his head. He sat down again and called 2 witnesses. They were both from Uzogulu's neighbors, and they agreed about the beating. Evo Forest then stood up, pulled out his staff, and thrust it into the earth again. He ran a few steps in the direction of the women. They all fled in terror, only to return to their places almost immediately. The 9 Egugu then went away to consult together in their house. They were silent for a long time. Then the metal gong sounded and the flute was blown. The Egugu had emerged once again from their underground home. They saluted one another and they reappeared on the Ilo. Umovia kwenu, roared Evo Forest, facing the elders and grandees of the clan. Yeah, replied the thunderous crowd. Then silence descended from the sky and swallowed the noise. Evil Forest began to speak, and all the while he spoke, everyone was silent. The 8 other Egugu were still as statues. We have heard both sides of the case, said Evil Forest. Our duty is not to blame this man or to praise that, but to settle the dispute. He turned to Uzogulu's group and allowed a short pause. Uzogulu's body, do you know me? How can I know you, father? You are beyond our knowledge, Uzogulu replied. I am Evil Forest. I kill a man on the day that his life is sweetest to him. That is true, replied Uzogulu. Go to your in-laws with a pot of wine and beg your wife to return to you. It is not bravery when a man fights with a woman. He turned to Odukwe and allowed a brief pause. Odukwe's body, I greet you, he said. My hand is on the ground, replied Odukwe. Do you know me? No man can know you, replied Odukwe. I am Evil Forest. I am dry meat that fills the mouth. I am fire that burns without fagots. If your in-law brings wine to you, let your sister go with him. I salute you. He pulled his staff from the hard hearth and thrust it back. Mwovya kwenu, he roared, and the crowd answered. I don't know why such a trifle should come before the Egugu, said one elder to another. Don't you know what kind of man Uzogulu is? He'll not listen to any other decision, replied the other. As they spoke, 2 other groups of people had replaced the first before the Egugu, and a great land case began. Thank you.